Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've made a video, but I'm back. A lot of stuff has happened since my last video, and I'm here to tell you what's happened and why I haven't been making videos and stuff, because there's an actual reason behind it. When I first started making videos, I didn't plan to just do like a few. Like, I wanted to, like, keep doing it, but then something happened, but things happened, and now I'm back to tell you why. And so, just, if you want to know, keep watching and find out. Even though a lot of you probably already know, because I posted about it like on all my social medias. But I wanted to make this, at first I wanted to make this video first and then post about it, but then I was like, nah, because it was really hard to make this video. I tried like 4 or 5 times to do this, and I just couldn't do it. But, so let's go back a little. It was actually March 27th, and I had a doctor's appointment, and I went to it, and for some reason, like, I kept having like these weird butt cramps, like in my butt cheek, and it would only happen like when I was at work and like walking a lot, which was weird. But like, I kind of just like put it off because, like, I can't just stop working because of a butt cramp in my butt cheek. So I was just like, whatever. And when I went to the doctor, like, I actually told him about it, and I was like, yeah, I keep getting like these weird butt cramps. And she's like, oh, okay. And like, when you go to the doctor, like, it wasn't just like a regular doctor, it was like a OB, like, gynecologist doctor. So I was just like, I was just like talking to her, and when you like go there, like, mine does, I don't know about everybody else's, but mine, they like always have me pee, like, no matter what. They like check my pee and have me pee into a cup. And so like, I did that, and I was just like, whatever. And we were just like talking a little bit more, and she's like, okay, like, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go check your stuff and stuff. And I was like, okay. I really didn't think anything of it. And so then she comes back and she's like, you're pregnant. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And I was just like so shocked. I was alone by myself. I was just like, you're lying. That's exactly what I said to her. I was like, you're lying. And she's like, no, I'm not lying. And I was just like, yeah, you're lying. And she's like, I'm really not lying. She's like, do you want me to have the nurse bring the test in? And I was like, yeah, because I don't believe you. And she's like, she's like, okay. So like, she had the nurse like come in, and the nurse like had them, like, there was 2, actually, I don't remember exactly, because at this time I already had tears in my eyes. I think there was like either 2 or 3, and she just like had them in her hand, and she was like, look. And like, all of them had like 2 lines on them, which indicates pregnant. And I was like, then I was just like, I like lost it, and I was just like crying. And it was funny because like, I was just like crying, like just in tears. Like, they weren't necessarily like happy tears, but they weren't like mad or sad tears. Like, I was just crying because like, it was a really big shock, actually. And so they were like asking me a whole bunch of questions. They were like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, they were telling me so many questions. They were like, there's so many options, like, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. Don't cry. And I was just like, okay. So then they had me go and they had me go and get my blood drawn. And so I did that, and as I'm on my way down to like get my blood drawn, because I had to go to like the different like outpatient or whatever, I don't know, like the lab to get it done. And she was like, I called my like best friend, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, I was still crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, like guess what? And she's like, what? Like what's wrong? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, no, you're lying. And I was like, no, like I'm serious. Like, do you think I'd be crying right now? Like, and she knew I was at the doctor because she would ask me, she was like, why are you there? And I was like, oh, I don't know, like it's just like appointment, like. And then it was so crazy because I told her, I was like, probably pregnant, but like it was kind of like, I always used to joke about it though, like I don't know, and it kind of came back. It came back and definitely bit me in my butt, but it's okay. But I said that to her, and I was like, oh, probably pregnant, it's fine. And she just like laughed, and then I called her, and then I told her, and she's like, nuh are you serious? Like, and I was like, yes, like, do you think I'll be crying if like this, like, and I wasn't just like, I was like in tears, like heavily crying. And I was like, do you think I would be crying like this if I was like just kidding? And she was like, oh my god, like. And then I was like, okay, I need to like call my mom, my sister, like I don't know what to do, like this is crazy, like I like, you know, like. So then she's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Like she's like, you know, talking to me a little bit about it, and I was like, okay, like I'll just talk to you later. She's like, okay. So then I called my sister and she didn't answer. So then I called her work, and I was like, I need to talk to like my sister, like is she there? And they're like, yeah, 1 second. And I was still crying. So then I was like, she's like, hello? And I was like, call me like on your phone, like I tried to call you, call me back. And she's like, okay. So then we just like hung up, and she called me back right away. She goes, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, no, you're fucking lying. And I was like, no, like I'm not kidding, like I came to the doctor and like they told me. She's like, nuh-uh. Like nobody believed me at first because I always joked about it, like I was always playing around about it, and that's why I think nobody believed me at first, because yeah. But so then she's like, you know, like she talked to me about it too, and then I was like, okay, like I'm gonna call mom and, you know, tell her. And she's like, okay. So then I called my mom and I told her, and you know, she talked to me a little bit about it too. And then they took my blood, and I just left. And my boyfriend was still at work, so, and I didn't want to tell him over the phone. Like that's just something you don't tell somebody over the phone or like over text or something like that. So I was just like waiting for him to come home, and I had left work early for my appointment, so which meant he wasn't going to be home till later. Like we usually get off work around the same time, but I knew that he wasn't going to be home till later. So I went to my mom's to like keep my mind off of it. Like I was still crying, I would just like stop crying and then start thinking about it, and then like just cry again. And again, I don't know like if it was like it wasn't happy tears, but it wasn't like sad tears, and it wasn't mad tears. It was just like I don't know what kind of cry it was. It was just like this is really happening. Like, you know, the doctors don't just tell you, like, you know. So then fast forward, later that night I came home and my boyfriend was here, and so I kind of just like sat on him, like he was playing his game in his chair, and I like sat on him, and I was just like kind of sitting there, and I was like, so like I went to the doctor today, and he's like, yeah, okay, what about it? And like I told him, and I was just like a mess, like crying, and he was like really quiet, he didn't say nothing, and he was like it was just a big shock for like both of us, because it definitely wasn't planned 100%, and it was just a big shock. And he told me, he's like, you know, whatever you want to do, like I'll be here for you, you know. And so then like a few days went by, and it was just weird, like everything was just weird. I don't know, I can't even really explain it. It just was like everything was off. Like I felt like our relationship, like we were still okay, but like it was just like we were just off. And it was definitely that was the reason why, because it was just such a big shock. And so then, you know, the doctors called me back like that next day, and they were like, yeah, you're 4 weeks and so and so and so and so. And then a few weeks went by, and like everything was like starting to get better, but I was getting worse. It was getting better, but like between me and like my boyfriend, and because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the best. Like there was definitely like tension, and like I don't know. We never argued. We never like, you know, and he never was like, no, I don't want it. Like go, like get away. Like we're not gonna be together if you keep. Like he never said anything like that, and it was just like a shock, literally just a shock. And so we ended up going to my first appointment, and he went with me, and we got a little ultrasound picture, which I'll insert it here, but that's the only one that they've given me so far. And when I got that, I was actually 6 weeks. So I'm currently 14 weeks and 2 days as of today. Last time I was at the doctor, they said that they might think I'm further along than what my last period was, because that's what they're going off of. But they won't be able to actually know exactly how long I am until like the baby gets bigger, and like they see like how fast, like, you know, they have to like measure that kind of stuff, and they can't do that like quite right now. But as of right now, I know that I'm 14 weeks and 2 days, and I honestly think I am maybe like a little bit ahead of 14 weeks, because I have like a little app on my phone, and it says like, you know, what you're gonna be feeling this week, and like the size of like your baby and stuff like that. And like this week I was like, I got an update, like, you know, every Friday I get an update. So it was Friday morning, and I was reading it, and like everything that it told me was gonna happen was already happening. And it had already, like, it's been happening for like probably like a week and a half now. So I was like a little confused, and then I thought of it like, oh, they said that I might be a little further along. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on that to see how like actually far along I am. I don't get another ultrasound until I'm 20 weeks. So I won't have one for a few more weeks. But that's the reason that I stopped making videos, because my last video that I actually posted, I knew that I was pregnant, and I knew, but like obviously I didn't say nothing. That was kind of another reason that I didn't like post anything about it for so long. Like people are probably thinking like, oh, she was hiding her pregnancy. No, I wasn't. Like, you're not, like, the doctor told me every 2 out of 4 women have a miscarriage before 10 weeks. And like, so I didn't want to just hurry up and like as soon as I found out just like post about it, and then, you know, like what if something was to happen, like that's just like that's something that I would have wanted to go through alone, like, you know, with me and my boyfriend. I didn't want to have to like put it online and, you know, say like, you know, like so and so happened, you know, like it's just like something you don't do. And well, I don't know, some people do it, but that's just something I didn't want to do personally. So that's another main reason that I did want to wait. But yeah, so that is the reason. It was the first trimester. I'm actually my second trimester now. First trimester was not good at all. I feel like I definitely could have had it worse, because I was still able to function, and I was still able to get up and go to work most days, and I was still able to do a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, but it was just hard. And like I didn't necessarily have morning sickness, I had night sickness. So like I would get up in the morning and I'd feel fantabulous, and then I would have to like force myself to eat because I didn't have an appetite or I didn't feel good enough to eat. So then I would eat on my way to work or like before work, and then when I got to work I would just feel like like not good, like I just want to lay down and go to sleep. And so and then when I would come home like after work, most days I would literally go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up like at like 9 or 10 at night, eat, puke, go back to sleep. And that was like a daily routine for like a while, and it was really hard. And it was actually really funny because it's not funny, but it wasn't funny at the time, but now it's funny. Like when I would like puke and stuff like that, like my boyfriend would just be like, oh my god, like, are you okay? And I'd be like, of course I'm not okay. But he was like, it wasn't like that. Like, babe,